Yeah, thank you for joining us today. And I'm talking to Barry Mitchel, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest sales trainers in the world. And I can say that because you've spoken all around the world, in Mexico, in Australia, and in America, everywhere. And you are one of the top trainers of Blair Singer and his programs, but also for Robert Kiyosaki from the Rich Dad Poor Dad fame, and you the how can I say, facilitator or presenter or trainer of his programs within Africa. And I've known you for quite a long time, and I would label you as a true entrepreneur because you take action. There's always something. Um, I think to quote the Tao Te Ching, you're like water. Whenever you get blocked by something, you just flow around it, and when something else, you go. And for me, always, I had that conversation with my son last night. Be like water, and you will live in a world of transformation and own the world. So, yeah, Barry, thank you for joining me today.
Flow is a nice word, Willem. I wish it had been easier as just flowing around it. It's so, mate. Great to be with you, and yeah, awesome to spend some time with you. So, thanks for inviting me.
Classic. So, today I want to talk specifically about sales as a life skill. I don't want to talk about sales training, sales techniques, and those are abound everywhere. And I like your programs. I've attended it a few times, and it's some good tips there. But the point I want to make is, when I work with entrepreneurs, they get involved in these. Oh, we need lean startup, and we need design thinking and everything, and all of that stuff gets thrown to them. And I think to a degree, I'm guilty of it because I teach business modeling. I'm an expert in business modeling. But if you look at the basics of business, of entrepreneurship, it's I have a product, I need a customer, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no massive involvement. If somebody rejects me, I learn and I adapt. So, what's your take on it? What's your feel and experience in the market when it comes to new business owners and entrepreneurs having to go out and do the sales?
So, Willem, let me kick off with this because yeah, I mean, I love this topic, and I learned very early on. My history in sales is I went to university. I did exceptionally well at golf and extramural activities, and I got kicked out of university. I went and worked for my dad. He, in his wisdom, sent me to the School of Mines to become a mining engineer. I did very well at playing hockey, golf, and extramural activities, and got kicked out of the School of Mines. And I got kicked out of home and told, go find a job, and I became a salesperson. What did I sell? Naturally, I went into the motor vehicle game because my dad knew someone in selling cars. And I needed to earn some money, and I was told, become a sales rep. Well, what else could you do? I was uneducated. Well, guess what I learned? Within 3 weeks, all my life I'd been told, go to school, get a great education so that you can get a great job so you can make lots of money. Well, I'll put it up. That's BS.
Okay.
I learned in 3 weeks there's one thing that makes money.
And that is?
Sales.
Absolutely.
When I sold my first car and I got paid commission, I went, oh, this is how you make money.
Yes.
You find a product, you find a buyer, and you put the two things together and you earn money out of solving somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
Once I learned that, I've been in sales nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
I haven't always had money in my life, but I've never had a problem making money. Now, there's two different things. So there are two different conversations.
And I can testify to that. And I'm just glad you grew up in Zimbabwe and not in a coastal town, because I think if you sold your first car, you would look at, who can I sell an oil tanker to? Because that's your level of thinking. Let's move 5 of these things and never work again. But yeah, that's true. Both of us have faced tough times in our life, and we're faced with generating money quickly. And
I think
magical at that.
Tough times come, and tough times come from various things. Tough times come from, a lot of my tough times have been self-made. I've made stupid mistakes and bad decisions and those type of things. But the way that I learned how to get out of them was by being able to sell. So the reason I say that, Willem, early on I learned pretty simply, sales equals income. When you look at a financial statement, another thing that school doesn't teach us is when you look at a financial statement, right at the top of the financial statement is income, right at the top, income and expenses. Now, what generates income? Well, what are we taught? Get a job, start a business. No. Sales generates income. You sell, you make money. How many business owners do we deal with? Small to medium-sized business owners, people that have incredible websites, great products, great services, unbelievable knowledge, but have no money.
Pages, Facebook campaigns,
Why?
teams, marketing, and everything else.
Yeah.
But nothing.
They can't sell. They don't want to sell. They don't think they should sell. They haven't been taught how to sell. But guess what? They all sell.
Yeah.
I'm
going to disagree with the first one, though. They can't sell. And you teach it as well. We sell every day because I have a 10-year-old son. I have to sell him many things in many cases. But point number 2 really struck a chord with me. They don't want to sell.
So let me reframe the first one. They can't sell. Well, they can, but they can't sell well. Or they can't sell themselves on the right things to sell. Or so in their little voice.
You're talking about the internal sale, not the external
100%.
one. That's a great difference.
So the first step is the internal sale. The first step is the internal sale. Things are tight. Cash flow's tight. Well, I have to sell to myself first on why I need to pick this thing up. Well, I shouldn't have to, because do you know what? I mean, right now, going through this whole COVID-19, this whole flip and put a mask on your face, do whatever you have to do environment. Well, in the last 5 months, my business has dramatically changed. You know, I'm sitting in a place here where you're interviewing me. I'm in my office. Across here, I have a 120-seater venue. Well, that was my business 5 months ago. Well, I haven't been able to put anyone else in here. So I could be sitting selling myself on why it's so unfair, and when people come back and when I'm allowed people in the room, then I'll make money. Well, I couldn't afford to do that. So the first step is I had to sell myself on how else can I sell my product to the market? How else can I take what I do and monetize it? Because it's a sale, but it had to come from me first.
Yes.
So the second thing is I had to go find people. It's pretty simple. I had to find what people wanted, and I just go out and help them get it. Now, people aren't taught about that. What they think is, well, I have a great product, so Willem, you because it's a great product, you must take it.
Yeah, it's a great product in your life, not necessarily in mine.
100%.
Yeah.
So, for me, Willem, we talk about, you talk about lean startup, we talk about, marketing campaigns. Are they necessary in business? Hell yes. But when you boil it down to the single most important thing in any business, it's your ability to sell. If you cannot sell, you cannot earn. Why? Sales equals income. Income equals life. If you do not sell, you do not earn. If you do not earn, you do not live. In business, it's called liquidation. It's called struggle. It's called survival. It's called all those type of things. So, it's why many years ago I wrote that book, Sales is a Life Skill. Why? Because I got sick and tired of people saying to me, I'm not in sales. People like me don't sell. I'm an accountant. Well, you've just friggin' sold. You sold while you're not in sales. Everyone sells all the time. Yeah. So this topic for me is when people actually just get to the fact that, look, you want to be a great entrepreneur, you go study any of the great entrepreneurs. You know the one thing they have in common?
Yes.
Okay, it's not the color of their skin. It's not where they grew up. It's not the language they speak. It's not the products. It's not the business they're in. It's none of those type of things.
Or where they were born.
One thing in common. Hey?
Or where they were born.
Or where
the
they were
level
born,
of wealth that they were born into.
None of those things. You know what they have in common?
Yes.
Every single one of them can sell.
Yeah, and sell very well.
Every single one of them can sell.
Yeah. And what's the
People
first
say,
thing that they sell?
but what about Warren Buffett?
Yeah.
Well, Warren Buffett had to sell himself on why he was going to do what he was going to do. First of all, he had to sell himself on why he was going to study and learn to become a master of investing. He wasn't just born so the whole process was a sale. Every deal that he makes, every business he buys, that's a sale. It's not a purchase, it's a sale. He has to sell himself into the deal. He has to sell other people in. He's got to sell investors in, other investors, helping him fund all those deals. It's a sale. Branson can sell. Kiyosaki can sell. Jack Ma can sell. Bill Gates can sell. All of them have one thing in common. They sell.
I want to share something with you. I actually had a very bad sales day yesterday. So the whole day I was selling myself on, I'm not in the mood to work. I had 2 naps during the day. Well, keep in mind, I do start at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but it was just slouching around. I think on a 100-meter dash, a sloth would have overtaken me. And then at 2:30 yesterday afternoon, I sold myself on why I need to do the work. And then I got a lot of stuff done in 2 hours before my son and I had a walk. But yeah, it starts with that sale inside.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that I've sold to myself historically, like yesterday, is just it's embarrassing on some levels.
Well, we all do that, don't we? I mean,
No, it's human.
we can sell ourselves on a reason we can, or sell ourselves on a reason we
Yeah,
can't. Either way, you're right. Which one do you want to be?
true.
That old, you'll know in the sales explosion program that I do, I play the Ben Affleck boiler room piece. A sale is made on every call you make. Either they sell you on a reason why they buy some stock, or you sell them on a reason why they don't. But when it comes to you, well, a sale is made on every discussion I have with myself. Either I sell myself on why I can, why I can't, why I will, why I won't, why I should, why I shouldn't. And it's a sale. The question is, whatever I'm selling myself on, is it giving me the results I want? Because as an entrepreneur, Willem, and I think this is a mistake that a lot of business owners make when they start their business. They think they get paid to work. You don't. You get paid for results. Okay, I'll say it again. You don't get paid to work. You get paid for results. People that have a job get paid to work. As an entrepreneur, I get paid for results. And the one measurement of results that I get paid for is what comes into my income column. First up, what comes into my income column? Where do I get those results from? How well I can sell. When I want to expand my business, will I get paid how well my team can sell?
Yes.
That's how I create results. First of all, it's me. Can I sell? One of the biggest mistakes I see one of the biggest failings I see with many small to medium-sized business owners is, they say, Barry, I got a great product, but I don't like sales. So why don't you come in and help find me some good salespeople? I go, look, I can do that. But the first step is you need to learn how to sell. No. I don't want to do that. I just want to make millions with my product. But other people, well, what happens is they have such a disconnection down the line with what it actually takes to sell that they never build a team and never build a business. You don't have to be the best sales guy, but you've got to be able to go out and understand what it is to turn your product, your service into income.
Yeah, because that also speaks of a deeper connection and understanding with my customer. And I found a lot of people when I said, you need to do research. Oh, we read this report and we ran a survey. No. Did you talk to somebody and get real feedback?
Yeah.
And I remember in my innovation business, we helped one company develop a prepaid water solution during lockdown. We did it all remotely. And one of the steps, we did about 10 one-hour interviews with some of their customer segment. And these guys are in this industry now for about 8 or 10 years. And after each interview, every one of them would say, wow, I learned something. And that's the key thing. You don't learn from a survey. You don't learn from it. Graham and I always refer to it as Yoda, your own data.
Well, sales, people say, why sales? Well, sales is the most powerful personal development journey you can get on.
I agree with that.
One, because by the mere fact that you have to face rejection. So you have to face the things that you fear the most. Two, you learn what other people think of your product, your business. You get direct feedback from the market. It's called feedback. Rejection is feedback. People kicking out of offices because they're not interested is feedback. When you take the feedback, you learn. When you learn, you grow. That's the power of sales. But when I sit and say, well, I studied Auntie Google, and Auntie Google told me that everybody is interested in my product, so I'm just going to launch it on a website and I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, maybe not.
We've seen that.
So when it comes down to, Willem, as your clients are watching this, I'm going to tell them, like it or not, you better get out and sell.
Yeah.
Because I know this in my business. When cash flow is tight, I can get out and I can sell. I don't have to rely on my team, but the mere fact that I know how to sell gives my team the confidence to get out and sell.
Yeah.
I never have to rely on any of my team coming to say, I mean, I had it recently. One of my team, well, it's lockdown, people don't have any money, blah, blah, blah. I went, okay, maybe that's true. Well, guess what? I got off my ass. I went in the market. I picked up the phone. I started connecting with some people, and I disproved what I didn't believe was true.
Yeah. See, because they sold themselves on a reason of why it will not work, but they didn't sell themselves on a reason of why it might work.
100%.
And when you ask them, what have you tried? Everything. They're like, no, you haven't done everything. Yeah, that's our
favorite. What does that mean?
Done everything. Tell me, show me your infinity list of things that you've tried. And I think some people might watch this and think we're arrogant pricks for just talking like this. But I think maybe you'll agree with me or not, but this is the reality. Would you rather fail here or out there? Would you rather face the reality here with us, or go and have somebody tell you in front of an office of 20 people, your product sucks and you need to do the work? Because it's not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy.
No, entrepreneurship is, and I say this in all my seminars, entrepreneurial seminars, flipping sales seminars. It's not easy. If you want it to be easy, you're in the wrong place. It's just like John F. Kennedy said in his "We'll Go to the Moon" speech. We do it not because it's easy. We do it because it's hard. It is friggin' hard to build a business, but guess what? It's very simple.
Ooh, round of applause for you for that one. It is absolutely simple. Product, sales.
We complicate the shit. We complicate it with all the stuff that people think they need to have and do and know. You don't. The simplicity of starting a business is find out what people want and help them get it. How do I do that? Willem, what problems do you have in your life right now?
Well, anyway, I need to find a way to get my leadership product into companies, because now it's really. Yes.
If I could find some companies that would be interested in you doing some free leadership training, would you be interested in doing some free leadership training to open some doors with them?
Absolutely, because my event is experiential, so that would be great. How can we do that?
If we do a free leadership training and you close the deal, will you pay me a commission?
Absolutely. I pay very good commission in dollars.
Excellent. I've just started a business.
Well done.
But the deal is,
yes,
I now need to be able to get off my ass, go and find some corporate companies, open some doors, do the hard work and the hard grind that it takes to be able to deliver to you so that collectively we can give a client what they want. But I got to go find those clients that now need leadership training.
Yeah, because this is another point I want to make is so many young entrepreneurs come to me. Well, I've incorporated the business. They're like, why? Why did you start a business when you have no customers? And it's always, I need the business cards. I need to incorporate this business and everything. Did you and I just start a freaking business? Yes. Did you have to go and incorporate the business for that? Open a bank account, print business cards? No. And that's how simple it is.
I love what you're saying, Willem. I've got a client that's just started, that I've started coaching. I do a 6-month exclusive coaching program for a few entrepreneurs. And when she sat down with me, I said, okay, so what's your registered business entity? She said, I don't have one yet. I said, tell me about what you're doing. She said, well, I've been working with this company for a while. I've got a group of clients that I have. I run it as a sole proprietorship type of income, but I have a customer base and I now love what I do. I go, I'll coach you, because she's been prepared to go out, get it started. And now we go, okay, well, let's incorporate a business. Let's get it going. Let's formalize it. And for the next 6 months, let's take it up. Whereas so many people, you'll probably laugh at this. Often I say to people, come to my office and I'll show you my certificate of incorporation on the wall. And last time I stood there and begged it to give me money, guess what? It didn't. I don't know about you, but it doesn't friggin' spit the stuff out. It's as though people think I have this certificate of incorporation. I'm not going to make money. No, you're not. Get out and sell. Find some customers.
That reminds me of I was working with two startups in an incubator, and it was two separate coaching sessions and everything. And verbatim, they said the same thing on different days, different entrepreneurs. We thought this would be easier. You build a business and the customers come. And they're like, no, if you build it, they don't come, unlike what the movie tells you. I mean, if that was the case, you and I will probably start a business after breakfast, one after lunch, and for giggles, just one before the end of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a great way. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would have it.
But the problem is, Willem, is once people get to a certain level as an entrepreneur, it appears that that's what they do. They do. Yeah, I've got some clients, I've got some mates who have multiple businesses, but guess what? They've been playing the game for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
They spent the first 15 years understanding the game. They've spent the first 15 years paying school fees, learning how to sell,
Mm-hmm.
multiplying what they did. All these stories, you read, they started by opening up a little garage and selling stuff out the back of their garage. Guess what? It didn't suddenly materialize. So, but guess what they did first? They sold.
Mm-hmm.
They sold stuff.
Yeah, and you have to start somewhere, and it's not always nice, and you're not always in a mood for feedback or rejection. But you know what? Once you do it for a while, it gets easy. Even now, when I presented an event, I tell people, nothing you say can hurt me. And when you say it to people first, they go like, what? And then
Yeah.
after the fourth or fifth question, the people really come out. And I laughed the other day, and the guy said, I've watched you on video now, and I experienced you live, and I find you very boring on screen. And my response was, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more. And he went like, okay, this is weird, because you have to understand also, when you open to feedback, it's just as strange for other people. How often have you told people, I don't like your product, and they're like, excellent, thank you, tell me more.
Well, sadly, most people don't do that because they don't take the feedback. What they want is they want everyone to say yes. So what are we naturally looking for? And it's a mistake many people make in sales. We're looking for people to agree with us.
Yes.
We're just looking for people to agree with us. As you know, recently I put on a program called Create Your Future.
Yes.
And why do we call it Create Your Future? Because there's only one thing that creates your future, and that's the ability to sell. So, and one of my colleagues, one of my mates from the US was speaking, and this guy, he's a global business builder, owns a number of his own businesses. He's, one of the things he does is he speaks, teaches, and trains exclusively for Redken around the world. And you know what he said to me? He said, or what he said to the students, he said this, he said, never take a no from somebody that cannot give you a yes.
Ooh, that's intriguing.
Okay. Now think about that. Never take a no from somebody that can't give you a yes.
Yeah.
How many people are asking the wrong people for advice, asking the wrong people for feedback? And so you got it. So what happens is you don't take it personally, but you still got to make sure that the person you're trying to sell to actually has the ability to say yes to your product.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm trying to sell someone my coaching program for 120,000 Rand for 6 months coaching, and they can hardly buy a loaf of bread, and they say, no, it's too expensive, and I get offended. Well, guess what? They actually don't have the ability to say yes anyway. So why am I worried about a no? Because I'm taking a no from the wrong place. I want to be getting no's and feedback from the people that actually do have the ability to say yes, because that's when I really get the learning. But what happens is a lot of people negate that. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's those words. When you tell a customer, you don't understand. If you hear yourself saying that stuff, profusely apologize, get up and leave.
Yeah.
You've lost the game, you've lost the plot, and you're not there to learn, and you're closed-minded. But I want to get back to the people that can't give you a yes. It's a book I read many years ago, and I practice that with my business as much as possible. I only speak to the economic buyer. And that's why my coaching business, I only deal with the business owner. He can say there, I want this, and half an hour later, the EFT has been done, and we begin, because he is
Yeah.
the economic buyer. In our innovation business, we deal with three economic buyers at different levels, but we have that awareness. We're not, hey, here on the fringes, but yeah, focus, make sure that you're talking to the economic buyer, the person that can write the check now.
So I think, it's an interesting comment you make. I do think, though, it's one mistake a lot of people make is they negate it. It depends on what you're trying to close. So when I open the door for the very first time, guess what? The receptionist is the economic buyer.
Mm-hmm.
She's the person, or he's the person that will open the door for me getting to speak to the next person in the chain. Mm. So again, it depends on what is the check that I want signed. That makes sense.
No.
What a lot of people actually do is they negate. If people look at sales like this, Willem, sales is a journey. It's not an event. The problem with a lot of people is they treat sales as an event, because for you to get to your ultimate aim, I agree with you 100%, is get to that person. And the quicker you can get to that person who makes the decisions, the quicker you can get things done. Mm. But it's a process. It's a journey to get to that person. A lot of people are not prepared. They think it's an event. They think, I walk in, I can't get to this person. That person said, no, it's done. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to these things, why are entrepreneurs so bad at sales? Well, did you ever learn how to sell at school?
No, I think you and I both hate school equally, but no, school taught me.
Is your son learning how to sell at school?
No, I had to teach him myself. And I used your techniques.
Do you know any kids that are learning how to sell at university?
Only my stepdaughter, and she generated enough income this year to buy a 60,000 Rand laptop.
And they teaching her how to do that at university, or she's using the skill that she's learned. Okay, so we do not learn how to sell. No. In fact, at school, even to today, and I still haven't found a school that has sales rep as a choice for a career.
Yes.
So we're not taught to sell. Yet, how many people do you know who are highly educated, have degrees, diplomas, and are sales reps?
No. They're not very good at it.
So at the end of the day, all of us have to learn how to sell.
Yeah, you have
and that's why you go back to your first question. Sales is a life skill.
Yeah.
It is. When you get married, what's the biggest problem in marriage? Communication.
Absolutely.
The ability to sell to each other. Yeah. Sales is just another word for communication, mate.
No, that's a good one. Listen, before we wrap this up, one takeaway you would like to share with people?
I think one takeaway you started with before we got on this is energy.
Yeah.
One of the things that you and I have always connected with and connected together on is energy. Mm. So whatever you're doing today, wherever you're doing it, what energy are you doing it with? Because that's the first sale. Absolutely. When you walk into a room, do you have a smile on your face? When you're dealing with other people, do you have a smile on your face? Do people want to be around you? What energy do you have? Are you attracting people or repulsing people? And when I mean, are you pushing? So, energy. And I think, one of the reasons I enjoy doing like interviews with you is because we have some energy. And I don't know, sometimes I don't even know where some of our interviews are going to go. What I do know is they're going to be fun. We're going to share some stuff. We're going to talk about stuff that we're passionate about.
Absolutely.
Some people like us, don't like us, but I don't think they can accuse us of not having energy. So whatever I take away, sales is a life skill.
Yes.
Sales equals income. Income equals
Absolutely.
life. And be very aware of the energy when you're doing what you're doing. How are you doing what you're doing, and who are you being?
Because
And that for me
if I
is
can quote a great man, you might know him, Barry Mitchell, highest energy
always wins, dude. Always
always
wins.
wins, dude. And we do it on stage. Imagine you and I just sloth like onto the stage, like, hi, who wants to learn about income? Who wants
Mm.
money? It's not going to work. And the same even in a one-on-one sale. If you don't convey that passion and that deep care, it's not going to work. Anyway, Bud, it's always nice chatting to you. Love it.
Thank you, mate.
And all the best for your 2020. So far, it's been a good year for me. Um,
It is.
but it's all down to what you do, and that's selling, Bud.
100%.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me on.